Is that for real?
Live from Studio B at KPRC Channel 2. Houston Life starts now.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to Houston Life on this Monday, August 31st. It is the start of a brand new week, and we are so glad you are here with us today at 3 p.m.
Start of a brand new week and end of another month.
Can you believe it's the last day of August?
Oh, my word. I know.
It's a trip. You know, I sort of had this moment this weekend when I realized Labor Day, guys, is a week from today.
I know.
Labor Day, the end of summer.
But it's still just going on. We do want to mention, though, right now, online, you can watch Mayor Sylvester Turner's update. When it starts, it will be available. It's supposed to start at 3 p.m., but it's there online of click2houston.com. That is a COVID update for the city and county. So that's the place that you can go and see it. It's hard to believe. I feel like this year is going by super fast, yet
super slow.
Super slow. It's like we're running in mud.
Oh.
You know, we're running in mud.
That's a pleasant, what do they call that? The Spartan race?
Yeah.
My nieces did one of those.
Oh my gosh, you know what? My friends and I, we did one.
You did?
Yes, and it was
the
terrible.
One where you run across burning coals too?
This was just full of mud, and one of my friends had to go to the emergency room that night with massive ant bites.
No.
I don't even know, head to toe. She was in the emergency room. We all had these bites all over our butt. Never do that again. It was a disaster.
That's terrible. If you find yourself standing in an anthill, they're everywhere. I mean, in H-Town, we have some anthills.
And they just like farm, like there was somewhere, I think it was in Alvin, if I remember correctly. And I think they just like ran hoses for a couple of days and just filled this pit up. It was terrible.
Have you
Don't ever
seen
do
those
it again.
videos of when like things flood and then there's like a little island with thousands and thousands of ants on it?
That happened to me.
It did?
Yes, but covering floodwaters. It was an island of ants that came by and I'm in the waders. It was in my boots. You know, waders for me, they basically come up to here. So it
was that the same time you were standing in an anthill and you had to take your pants off right before the live shot?
At 10 o'clock, yes.
That was the same time?
No, there was no flood water. I actually just stood in an anthill.
Oh, you told that story here once, right?
I did. I take off my pants. I did, on the side of the road.
Let's hope the shot was from your waist up.
It was. I was with Byron, my photographer. Yes.
Oh, man. Byron Nichols, who just covered Hurricane Laura last week in Lake Charles. My goodness.
I
wow.
know. I mean, the things we learn.
The things yes, you live and learn.
You know what's amazing about that non-Spartan race that I did? I don't remember the name of it. It was horrible. Is I hate getting dirty. I don't walk around barefooted. I don't like when my hands feel like, so the fact that I was running and jumping and rolling in mud water is very disturbing. I don't know how I ever got there.
I don't mind getting dirty if I'm supposed to be dirty, but like if you're wearing normal clothes, you know, if you're wearing like
everything in the parking, like you could donate your clothes. We left everything.
Just
Shoes,
in a muddy pile.
Just take it. Don't want it.
Do they hose you down at the end of it?
They didn't, but they had areas that you could shower in, which basically was probably the hose they used to fill up the mud hole that we swam in. So
was this at least for charity?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I really don't. I know I paid. It wasn't free. I paid to actually do this. So horrific.
Sometimes good people make terrible choices. It just happens. Hey, before we continue this weird chat we're having right now, we should point out that along with COVID, and I know we mentioned the mayor's press conference, which you can watch online if you would like. Also, you know, you could watch Houston Life and the conference at the same time.
Same time.
But a lot of people are asking themselves, when will we travel again? You know, COVID-19, and so many people have delayed or completely canceled their travel plans. But folks, there is really, really good news. On today's show, we're going to talk about how COVID-19 has not only affected people's travel plans, but also some really good deals, folks. I mean, that's the thing, especially when it comes to international travel. And we do have a list of destinations that Americans still can visit if you are one of those people just itching to get out of town. And don't worry, because even if you're not going to be traveling in the near future, the big news, Courtney, is that you could take advantage of those deals, book right now, and then travel 2021, which is only now 4 months away.
Not that anybody's counting, right?
No, definitely not me.
I know. Definitely get those vision boards out. And also, guys, we are going to talk about how to deal with picky eaters. Houston author of Kid Food, Bettina Elias-Siegel, she's going to share tips on how the pandemic can actually help parents when it comes to their kids' picky eating. And by the way, she knows it all. She did some really great studies. Her blog, you know, she looked at how HISD was distributing their food. I mean, she is the woman that knows about school lunches and how to get your kids to eat. It's a really fascinating conversation. I mean, I don't know how picky you were as a kid. I don't remember me being super picky, but if I didn't have an apple that, you know, I don't like ketchup or mayonnaise, strawberries. Like, I don't really like any of that. But if I got an apple that wasn't good at that first bite, I would just put it back.
What?
You know, like take a bite and then, oh, that's not very good.
In the fruit bowl at home?
I would put it bite-sized down and walk away. But, you know, my mom always thought it was my brother's.
Of course.
So when
That's
you're the youngest and the
horrible to put
only
it
girl,
back.
you get skated over everything. It's never my fault, right? It's never, I was never the one. It was the brothers that were always.
And that's the
bad
irony.
stuff.
You were actually the bad apple.
I was
in the
bad
bowl.
apple.
You know, I always, as a kid, I loved apples. Apples were probably my favorite snack. And Granny Smith, that was Elizabeth's favorite. And I liked a gala apple or
Love
a gala.
Gala.
Depending on how you say it.
Yeah, I like
or a pink lady. That's a fun one. But I remember at a very young age, I have this thing about Red Delicious. How many times have you had a Red Delicious apple and it's actually delicious?
Never.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think they're just fooling us and renaming it
name.
Delicious. So we're like, oh, this mud is delicious. Yeah, it's still mud.
Yeah.
Every time.
I'm sure
as
that's
a
why I
kid,
put it back.
They're soft and just kind
Nasty.
of, there's never like much of a crunch. And I remember one of my first jobs in television, I was working in Los Angeles. My producer, Judy, we were out on a shoot. So I had packed this Red Delicious / disgusting apple, and I bit into this apple.
And it was like applesauce?
And Judy was like, from across the van, you know, we're in the back seat, from across the van, she's like, ooh, that did not sound like a very good apple. Just the sound it made when I bit into it.
No crunch at all. It was already applesauce.
But in general, I don't think I was very picky when it comes to eating foods. My mom, she had renamed, my mom would like mess with us, right? Did I ever tell you about the time one night at dinner, we would have a glass of milk, right? Now, if I even look at milk, I gag. I don't know why.
I can't stand the smell of it. I don't like it at all.
I feel it in my throat. And a senior in high school, my mom used to buy these giant gallons of milk. I would go through like 2 gallons of whole milk every 2 days.
Every 2 days?
Oh, I would chug it like crazy.
Yeah,
I
AJ
loved
likes
it.
milk. He drinks a lot of milk.
Oh, he'll grow out of that.
Yeah.
So I'm kidding. Some people still do, but I outgrew it, and now I really have an aversion to it because I feel it in my throat. But one night during dinner, my mom poured buttermilk for us instead of milk. So we took a swig and we thought it was rotten. But we always had an issue with eggplant, so she just named it Delicious Aloysius, like a Red Delicious apple.
Yeah.
Oh, if you call it delicious, the kids will love it.
Right.
We still thought it was nasty. As an adult, though, I do love eggplants.
I do love eggplant. Unfortunately, just it doesn't look good. You know, when you look down at your plate and see an eggplant, it's not really saying, this looks amazing. You know how some food, you look at it, you know, a tomato or an apple that's sliced and like you can almost feel like your mouth drooling over it.
Salivate.
Salivating.
Yes.
That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. You know, there are certain things that look more appetizing to you. You know, you see...
Grilled eggplant, though, if
eyes?
it's sliced up and you can see that beautiful eggplant color, isn't it? Eggplant's like aubergine, right? Isn't that the color of eggplant?
Yeah.
Aubergine.
Or it's just eggplant.
I'm just trying to be fancy here. Was there anything that you disliked?
I didn't eat a lot of tomatoes, ketchup. I don't like ketchup.
And still strawberries. I don't understand this.
Ugh, strawberries, no, cannot do it.
Do you think that we could maybe hypnotize you into...
No, I don't want to be hypnotized to do
Why?
that. No, I feel like my palate is pretty good there.
But strawberries are delicious. I worry about you missing
They're also
out.
on the super dirty list.
Which is why you buy organic.
Well, I just don't want them. I still buy them because my boys love them, but I don't eat them. I think it's a combination. They're kind of furry. There's lots of seeds, and they're mushy, and so it just, and the smell, I don't like it.
Are we
I don't
talking
like
about
it.
my ex-boyfriend
Yes,
or about
all
strawberries?
The above. All the above. Well, I will tell you, you know, Connor used to say as a little kid, if there would be greens or something on his plate that he didn't want other than, you know, turkey or chicken nuggets or something, I can't like that, and he would just push it over. I can't like it. He would just push it back.
And you knew exactly what he meant.
I did. And then, you know, we had Duke when he was born, and so
Duke is the dog.
our pug. And
Not the second child.
Not the second child, no. We had the pug, and then the pug hated Connor. It was a whole thing. He was very jealous. But then he quickly figured out that he could eat Cheerios and strawberries and all these other things because Connor would drop it, and then they became friends.
Oh.
And then he bit him. So it was a whole thing.
Well, that's a great story. What else you got?
I know. Let's just bring this up a minute. So over the weekend, this is so crazy. I don't know if you say, is it racked, random act of kindness that was done onto you? So
Okay.
R-A-K, E-D.
Cool.
That happened to me this weekend.
What happened?
And okay, so I got this beautiful bouquet of flowers delivered to me.
Pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
It's very nice.
And there was no card, but there was a little note on there saying that I was raked. I don't know the correct way. Somebody will tell me. And the flowers were delivered and arranged by Frankie and Flora, but it came with this note just saying that I was given, someone thought it would be nice that they thought of me, and I was a recipient of a random act of kindness.
And you have no idea who sent it to you?
I don't know who sent it to me, but I will tell you, it warmed my heart. And then the thing is that you're supposed to pass it along. So, I mean, I just thought it was super sweet.
So have you decided the person you will be passing this along to?
It's already been done.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell on the show? No, because that would spoil the surprise.
No, it would spoil the surprise.
What a great idea.
Isn't that sweet?
It's sort of like sharing a smile with someone, right?
Yeah.
It's contagious. Whatever you're putting out into the world. If you're nasty to someone, then
nastiness will come back.
Pass it along. But if you smile or you send someone anonymous flowers, I'm sure they would love that.
They would.
I did not receive any flowers,
Pretty
but I am
cool,
happy
though.
for you that you did. That's fantastic.
Really sweet. I love that sweet arrangement. It just made my heart smile.
What a sweet idea.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Finally, you tell something happy.
And something that people can
kidding.
understand.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding,
Look at
right?
that story had a beginning, a middle, and an end. Who knew?
I didn't even have to take notes and review it later. Gosh, what did Courtney say on today's show? This is me every night at home. Wait, what did she mean by
No
that?
idea what she was talking about.
So we were chatting about pets. What was his name? Duke, the dog that you had?
Duke the pug.
Okay, so during quarantine, you know, so many people going a little stir crazy at home, and a lot of times the pets, like all the pets are freaking out because people are working from home, they love it. But if during quarantine your pets are getting a little bit, I don't know, stir crazy along with you, why not teach them a brand new trick? I love this idea.
All the pets are like, aren't you leaving yet? No, I was kidding. Stephanie Bennett, we love her. She's the puppy whisperer. She's over at Believe in Dog Training. Has some really great tips to help your pup learn something new. And Lauren Kelly is live there with our little man Tex. Hey, Lauren. I love this. Stephanie is so great with all of the dogs.
You know, it's a beautiful day when I get to come here to Believe in Training and work with all these puppies and with Stephanie, and I'm so excited to try this because this is something that I can also take home and try to teach my two dogs. And it doesn't matter how old they are. You can teach your dog new tricks however old they are, and we're gonna find out exactly how the dog whisperer, Stephanie Bennett, she's gonna give us some pointers on the best way to do that. So Tex is kind of in a league of his own.
He is.
He already knows lots of things. So what's the first place people should start with when they want to try to teach their dog something new?
So I would say, if you want to teach tricks, I think that it was really important to have a basic obedience foundation. That will help because then that makes them problem solvers. But if we want to teach them a brand new something, then we need to have motivating tiny treats. We use a lure reward method, which means I can lure his body into position, and then I use a clicker so that I can click the very second his body gets into that position. When I click, Tex knows he's clicker conditioned. So Tex knows that when I click, that means I owe him a tiny piece of food, which means he wants to continue the behavior that I clicked.
So consistency is the key, repetition, and practice.
Consistency, practice. That's it. Over and over and over and over again.
Awesome.
And patience.
And lots of patience for sure. what are the 2 tricks that we're going to try to teach Tex today?
So the ones that I have been thinking about, so I thought we'll take advantage of it, is a bang. So play dead. Everybody loves that trick.
Okay.
And then what I call a hustle, but it's like a weave, really. So it's a weave through your legs as you walk. So because I can try that one, and I thought maybe he would maybe even do that with you a little bit later. So
awesome.
We'll see.
Yeah, Stephanie, normally we're on a little bit of time. We have an hour, right? And that's kind of a fast amount of time to teach a dog something new. So we'll just check on the progress as Tex is doing this and see if he's smart enough to do it. I know he's smart enough to do it. So we've got the clicker, we've got the treats. What else do people need to have ready just as they start trying to teach their dogs tricks?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Right.
Like I said, patience.
Right.
Patience and making sure that you are doing little tiny increments. That's why it's good that we're going to break up, because he needs lots of breaks, especially Tex. He needs a lot of breaks. You do literally like 2 to 5 minute training sessions, frequent little ones, and then you break it up with play. Keep it fun. It has to be fun. If it's not fun, forget it.
I'm on the same wavelength as Tex right there.
That's right. It has to be fun, and you want to end on success.
Awesome. Yes. Okay, well, Stephanie Bennett is going to help us here at Believe in Dog Training. We're in the Heights today. Tex is here. He's the star of the show. We're going to see what he can learn within the hour. Don't go anywhere, because the bang and hustle, I already like the 2 names of that. Those are the 2 tricks that we're going to get Tex to do today. Look, he even knows that Stephanie has a bag full of treats because Stephanie is his favorite person. So we'll be right back throughout the show. We're going to teach Tex some tricks. Derek and Courtney, you guys don't want to miss this.
Oh my gosh, Lauren and Stephanie and Tex, thanks to all 3 of you. I think he's going to do a great job. And that little clicker, I remember when Tex was little, and Stephanie used that religiously. It worked.
I know. It totally works, and Tex loves Stephanie just like we do. I can't wait to see this. Connor really wants to teach Oscar the bang trick, so I'm going to be taking lots of notes. Okay, guys, coming up after the break, how to deal with those picky eaters, simple tips to take the stress out of mealtime. That's coming up next. I can't like that. Well, welcome back. Tears, screams, and food thrown on the floor. Handling picky eaters can be frustrating. Tell me about it. That was Derek this afternoon. But there are ways to make mealtime less stressful. You don't need to throw a tantrum, Derek.
I know. It's just the strawberries. I didn't like them. Houston writer and author of Kid Food, Bettina Elias Siegel, is joining us now to explain. Welcome to the show, Bettina. It's great to see you. And before we jump into these step-by-step tips, you wrote this book about 10 years ago, and it really was to address what so many parents and caregivers deal with every day. How do you raise a healthy eater? And the important thing here is we are not alone, right?
You are absolutely not alone. I want to make one correction. The book is actually new. It came out just a few months ago.
Oh, congrats.
But I did start a blog 10 years ago about kids and food. And yes, parents, this is a kind of universal struggle. It is really hard to raise healthy eaters in today's world. And the book was my attempt to kind of help parents understand why and give them tips, and then also talk about how we might change this environment that's so hard to raise healthy eaters in. So,
Bettina, I got this advice when my boys were really young, because at some point I feel like my husband and I were eating one meal, my younger son was eating something else, the older son, and I thought, we are not short order cooks.
Yeah.
This is one meal and one meal. This is what we're eating. You don't like it, too bad. Is that bad?
No, that is actually excellent advice. I think short order cooking is really common. I know I fell into that trap when my kids were little, but it really kind of takes away the potential of a family meal. The family meal is like a kind of learning lab where kids can watch what their parents are doing and sort of slowly at their own pace learn to try new foods and hopefully like new foods. If you're always short order cooking, like, you know, we're having salmon and broccoli and you're having mac and cheese, then you're constantly kind of depriving kids of this wonderful learning opportunity.
What about the environment during COVID-19, Bettina? Because you suggest that this time, this extra time at home might actually be helpful for parents.
Yes, I mean, I never want to say there's a silver lining about this pandemic, which is obviously horrible. But, you know, one consequence is we are all eating together a whole lot more often than we ever did. And, you know, pre-pandemic and post-pandemic, parents are working outside the home, kids are really busy with their activities. It can be really, really challenging to sit down together to a meal. But right now, we're getting that opportunity multiple times a day, typically, and certainly usually dinner. And as I said, we know from studies that kids actually do model their eating behavior on the trusted adults in their life. There's this really funny study I read where kids were given this completely weird looking food. It was like bright blue porridge. And if they saw a trusted adult, like a parent or a teacher, eating it happily, they were much more likely to try it. And so it just shows you, if we can all sit together and break bread together and eating the same meal together, that's kind of the ideal learning ground for kids to expand their palates.
I think it's so important. The family dinner table is so important on so many levels. I also think the world that our kids are growing up in today is so much different than we were growing up, where there's cooking shows and there's kids on cooking shows. And so there's a lot more accessibility to get our kids cooking and kind of trying things. I mean, I think about eating sushi. I probably didn't do that until I was in college or something, and our kids are eating it a lot younger. So the experience of involving them in making the meal, do you feel like that's something that is helping them with better eating habits?
Oh, definitely. I mean, for one thing, cooking is just like a super important life skill. If you don't know how to cook, you are always going to be dependent on restaurants to feed you or prepared food. And while that stuff tastes great, it's often not the healthiest. So, you really want to know how to cook. But yes, for kids who are picky, especially, when you give them opportunities to explore food in contexts where they're not really expected to eat it, like gardening or not during COVID, taking them to the grocery store, or cooking, that's a chance for them to kind of get their hands on food and touch it and smell it, and no one's pressuring them to eat it. And it's a terrific way to give kids kind of a sense of control over the meal and give them this life skill and allow them to explore food in like a really unthreatening setting.
And Bettina, what are some other concrete ways that we can involve kids in maybe the cooking process and expose them to different types of foods to expand their palate?
Well, so some feeding experts actually have this idea of like a learning plate, which I think is really interesting. This is for the kid who really is, got a picky eating issue, is very selective, is to actually expose them to unfamiliar foods or foods that they don't think they like, apart from mealtime. We're talking about little kids here, but you put out like a learning plate where they can touch carrots, they can smell them, they can break them open and hear what that sounds like. They get a chance to explore in a safe way when they know that nobody is going to be expecting them to eat it. And I guess that leads me to just one other kind of overarching thing I think parents should really think about. We know from studies that when kids are pressured to eat at the table, that really almost always backfires. So you kind of want to avoid tricks that a lot of us have heard, like, just take 3 bites and you can have dessert and that kind of thing, because the studies show that really tends to make kids kind of, dig in their heels and not want to eat the thing you want them to eat.
And also building a colorful plate, I think, is really important. It may not work the very first time, but keep trying. I love all of that advice. You also have a free virtual event coming up this week. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I'm super excited about this. The Evelyn Rubenstein JCC and Congregation Emmanuel here in Houston are co-hosting an event. It's this Thursday. It's at 7:30 our time, but we're actually being joined by JCCs from cities all over the country, I think 9 or 10 of them. And so it's going to be a super fun night. I think we're going to talk about kid food. We're going to talk about these challenges that parents face and hopefully also spur a little bit of activism, to encourage parents to do what they can to improve their kids' environment at school when school starts again, and all of those things.
All right, Bettina Elias-Siegel. The book is called Kid Food. Congratulations, and thanks for your time today on Houston Life.
Thank you so much for having me. This was great.
Appreciate it. And we've shared a link in the Scene on Houston Life section of our website if you'd like to register for that event there. Thanks again.
And we will be right back with a look at what's coming up on Channel 2 News at 4. Don't go away. Welcome back to Houston Live. Now let's get a check of today's headlines with Keith and Christine over in Studio A. Hey, guys.
Hey, yeah, the headlines are going to be hot. Someone grabbed me and said, hey, Keith, can I talk to you? We were in the sun. I said, hey, can we step into the shade? We stepped into the shade, and I still was sweating.
Right, like, there's not much difference.
No.
Right, yeah, Houston certainly bringing the heat. Yeah, great to see you guys. Yeah, we want to go over to Frank. Frank, we're talking about like an excessive heat warning today.
If it's not hurricanes, it's heat, isn't it? I have never seen an excessive heat warning in the Houston area. There may have been been some, and they're very rare. I've seen them in Dallas and Austin and West Texas, other places for the country. But for us, we have one today until 8 o'clock for the coastal counties. They're just close enough to the Gulf to get enough humidity in here to give you feels-like numbers of 113 to 117. Heat advisories for the rest of us with heat advisories with feels-like numbers to 113. This is what we have right now. 94, 95, 96, 98 in Conroe. But look at the feels-like numbers. 113 in Galveston, 110 in Lake Jackson and Palacios, 107 in Houston, 111 in Brenham, 106 in Columbus. So it is hot outside and not much relief. You can see there's been a few showers up to the north, way out to the west, but that's been about it. So don't count on that. Just stay hydrated. If you can stay inside, that's even better. AC, shade, sunscreen, take breaks, light clothes and hats. Don't forget those pets need water and shade too. That concrete, when it's 100 degrees outside, it gets to 155 on concrete and 175 on the asphalt. Now, here's some good news. There's actually a front that's supposed to come next week.
Oh,
come
baby,
on,
bring on the front.
We are ready for that, baby. Goodness gracious.
So we'll talk about that at 4 o'clock. But I have my fingers crossed. I'll show you what's going on.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Frank. Some of the other stories we're working on this afternoon: online learning and anxiety. Health reporter Haley Hernandez is talking to a doctor and getting some advice for parents whose kids are feeling worried about virtual education.
And also coming up, probably my favorite story of the day. It's going to tug at your heartstrings. You know the old saying, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade? Well, 3 young boys, they are doing just that to help their youngest brother, just 19 months old. That baby has a heart condition that will require a second operation. So his 3 older brothers, they're stepping up, they're doing their thing, and they're using a lemonade stand to raise funds for that procedure. So brothers coming together.
That brotherly love, my goodness.
Stay hydrated. Drink lemonade.
Yes.
That's right.
Without
There
a
you
doubt,
go,
guys.
for a great
Back to you.
cause. Thank you so much. We'll tune in at 4.
Absolutely. And still ahead, guys, we're going to check back in with Lauren Kelly and Stephanie Bennett over at Believe in Dog Training.
Yeah, they've been working on teaching Tex some new tricks. We'll see how he's doing next.
Aw.
Houston Life moved to 3 p.m. Well, I know what I'll be doing at 3 p.m. Same thing I'm doing the rest of the day, drinking to celebrate. Congratulations, everybody.
Hi to all my friends over at Houston Life. I really miss seeing you guys in person, but I'm so excited for you. You know, a lot of people don't like to move, but this is the best kind of move.
Hey y'all, I'm Sylvia from Friendswood, Texas, and I love watching Houston Life.
Those are so great. We love that you watch too, Sylvia. Woohoo!
Thank you, Sylvia. And Rachel and Dixie as well. These are such nice little virtual hugs we get every day, huh?
I love it. It's the best ever.
Thanks for those. All right, at the beginning of the show today, Lauren Kelly and Stephanie Bennett up at Believe in Dog Training got started on teaching our little Tex man a couple new tricks.
And when it comes to our pups, it's all about patience and practice. So let's check back in to see how Tex is doing. Hey, Lauren.
So it's also about rewards, and I learned today that our boy Tex is a big fan of the puppy charcuterie board. We're giving him treats with Vienna sausage and cheese, and that's how we're getting him to learn these things today. I'm just kidding. So Stephanie Bennett is here. She's been doing a great job. And what I have to point out is Tex is already such a great listener, and he's so familiar with your cues, but you're consistent. So the clickers really played a part, the tricks have really played a part, and the repeating each step has really played a part.
Right, and keeping them small and letting him play in between.
Exactly. So Stephanie will like teach him for 2 minutes, let him play, then let him get a couple of belly rubs, and then we start over again.
That's right.
So let's show everybody which one we've been working on the last couple of minutes.
So this is hustle. I call it hustle. It's a leg weave is what it is. This one he doesn't love going under. Yes, good boy. Come on.
See, the clicker is almost communicating
that
he's doing it correctly.
That's right. Good boy. Come on.
Oh my goodness, he's so advanced. He's so advanced.
Yes, good boy. The clicker is feedback. When I click, he knows, aha, I did it right. That's what I did right then and there. I did the right thing, and now she owes me a treat.
Okay.
So as he becomes fluent in that behavior, it's brand new behavior to him right now. So I'm still having to lure and click every time. As he becomes fluent, I will wean off my body language so I don't be having to bend down all the time, and I'll just be able to walk, and he'll walk through my legs.
So Stephanie, for parents who are teaching teaching their dog a trick, and this is actually a sped up version of how long you should really be teaching.
Yes.
Tex may not remember all of this tomorrow, right? Because the key is to just keep repeating it and practicing it. How long do most dogs take to really learn something new?
So it really depends on the individual dog, just like an individual child or person.
Right.
Meaning how much drive do they have, how much they like doing it. That's why we have to keep it so fun. It also depends on how much the person works on it.
Okay.
So again, frequent small intervals of training are how we do it. If I had him for 3 more days and I had him, if I did 5 10-minute sessions, he'd get fluent.
Of course, of
yes.
course.
So, it really depends. So the more you practice, the better you get at anything.
It's like learning a language. You
That's
practice
right.
it, it's front of
That's
mind,
right.
and you just practice it
And
every day.
tomorrow he might go, ooh, I'm a little, what was that again? And I might have to take it backwards a little bit, and then we move forward a little bit, and all of that. So it really depends on the dog. I know him, so I know he has to have short, he's got to play, and he's got to have deliciousness.
Don't we all? So the hustle, I think that we can mark up as a check. Do you want to see it one more time? Let's see. Come on, Texie.
Tex. Come on. This way.
Oh, it's okay. Just backwards. There we go.
Boy. Come on. Yeah. Good boy.
I'm silently clapping so I don't distract him. He's like a toddler, for real. I love it.
Good boy.
Stephanie Bennett, Believe in Dog Training. We've got one more trick we're going to try to teach little Texie here, which I have all the faith he's going to be just as successful, and that's coming up in just a little while. Derek and Courtney, back to you guys. That right there is our Texie master. He's a genius.
He is so good.
Little Texie master. Indeed, he's doing such a great job. Lauren, thank you. We'll check back in a little later on.
And up next, international travel in a COVID world.
What to know before you go and the huge deals you can score. That's next. Welcome back. With so many of us experiencing delays or cancellations on trips this year, you might be wondering when, if ever, we're going to be traveling again.
Travel what now? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
And there's some good news, because right now is a great time to book for a future trip. Travel Zoo senior editor Gabe Saglier shares how we can secure a deal by booking now and traveling later. Gabe, it's great to see you.
Good to see you both. Thanks for having me back. Congratulations on the new time slot, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
We appreciate that. Okay, let's talk about international travel in a COVID world. It can happen.
Well, listen, slowly but surely it's happening. The prospects, the outlook for domestic flights, a little bit on the fence here as we head toward October 1st, because as you know, there's this CARES Act. The money is burned up by the end of September, or at least a lot of the parameters around those monies. So the domestic air situation is a bit up in the air now, but the international outlook is actually positive. Slowly but surely, we are seeing people booking. There is some flying going on out there, and we are starting to hear news that certain destinations around the world, not Europe yet, but certain destinations are certainly ready to welcome Americans right now.
And Gabe, at Travel Zoo, you guys surveyed thousands of travelers. First of all, most people experience some sort of trip cancellation or postponement, right? And what are your numbers telling you in terms of travel for the rest of the year, or when people are planning on traveling perhaps into next year?
Good point. So, yeah, on international travel specifically, we surveyed several thousand people, and 62% told us that, in fact, they had to either cancel or postpone an international trip. Of those folks, most of them will be traveling overseas next year. So 63% will travel globally in 2021, about a fourth, 26% traveling between now and the end of the year, and 10% are waiting all the way to 2022. So for most of us, that comfort zone will be in 2021 when we can reschedule that overseas trip. We also asked about things like masks. Are you willing to wear masks? Are you willing to take a negative COVID test? And for the most part, people are willing to follow these rules and regulations that will allow you to enter certain destinations. The one thing people don't seem to be really all that happy to do, about 3% say they would be willing to do a 14-day quarantine, which tends to be the name of the game in certain destinations like Ireland and the UK. You can travel there now, but you do have to do a 14-day quarantine. Bahamas, same thing.
Okay. Well, let's talk about more destinations. And I think when we do that here in Houston, we think, let's go to Mexico, right? I mean, that's destination number one.
So it's interesting. With Mexico, the CDC and the State Department have it at a level 4, which means basically they don't think we should travel south of the border. So those warnings are there. Now, that said, since May, we've seen numbers of flights down to south of the border, Cancun, Cabo San Lucas, Puerto Vallarta, increasing month after month. I met a whole bunch of San Diegans here in Southern California who do the drive across the border and have been coming back. So people are traveling down there. No COVID test requirements in Mexico. When you land, you will probably, depending on the airport, get your temperature taken. You have to fill out these health affidavits saying you haven't had certain symptoms in the last couple of days, couple of weeks. Each resort will have its own mandates as well, like having to wear a mask in open public areas. But otherwise, there's some fantastic value. So, for example, let's talk about a place like Punta Mita, which is this beautiful upscale luxury destination just outside of Puerto Vallarta. There's only a handful of high-end brands here. The W Punta Mita, which opened up just about 4 years ago, is, again, on this beautiful stretch of water across from Bahia de Banderas, which means Banderas Bay, a famous outcropping there in the waters of Puerto Vallarta. 3-night stay here for $5.99. You get a whole bunch of dining and spa credits here as well. The neat thing is that this is fully refundable. So if you change your mind last minute, you can cancel with no, not being dinged. And the travel window is all the way through summer of next year. So you can lock the price in now and then figure out when you will be going and when you feel comfortable traveling to a place like Punta Mita.
Literally a year from now, you could still travel. And Gabe, as you go through this list, I'm glad you pointed that out, because for a lot of these deals, again, even if people are not ready to start traveling, right?
Book it now.
You can book it now and travel, 6 months from now. That's a great tip.
And that's how and that's a great point, because we've shifted actually in the way that we do business currently, because for the most part, we're not publishing anything that's not refundable, number one, and we're not publishing anything that's you got to take advantage of in the next couple of weeks. It's really these long, some travel windows for some of these international trips go all the way to the end of 2022. So again, you're locking these rates in now, and then really having that freedom and that that sense of dependability. It's when you feel comfortable, when your schedule permits to take on these trips.
And fully refundable.
Listen, the Caribbean's interesting because these rules will really change depending on the island that you select. So as I mentioned, the Bahamas. There's a 14-day quarantine mandate currently for American travelers there, but the Dominican Republic is open. Again, you have to have a negative COVID test within about 3 days before you land. You do have to fill out one of these health affidavits when you land at the airport there, but otherwise the deals there are fantastic. This is a resort called the Lopesan. It's right outside of Punta Cana. On Bavaro Beach, gorgeous sugar white sand beaches. And you've got a 3-night stay here for $5.99. It's all inclusive though. So all your meals, all your cocktails, all those great little water activities included. Fantastic price point. And again, that's good for travel all the way through September of 2021. Fully refundable if you change your mind last minute.
That's really remarkable. Another place too, Belize. Let's talk about this one because this is good.
Yeah, you guys strike me as those who, a couple of folks who love barrier reefs. Well, the one in Australia, the world's largest, is off limits to us right now. The second largest barrier reef in the world is right there in Belize. And this is a property right near that very coveted spot. It's called the Placencia Resort, 4-star property with a private beach, a 3-night stay here. $179. Again, you're right on the way. That's 70% off. That's for travel through November of 2021. So again, if you've thought about a Central American destination, you have to have a negative COVID test within 5 days of your arrival there in Belize. But certainly an option for a lot of folks who are looking for that tropical Central American destination. We're seeing some great deals out of Costa Rica as well.
$179 for 3 nights. That's like $60.
Yeah. It's almost like it's cheaper to go to Belize and stay home. Am I right?
Yes.
Whoa.
The way that works out. Yeah.
That, Gabe, is a really, really good deal. Okay, let's chat about Bali. Just the word alone conjures up beautiful, romantic images. Beautiful.
It rolls off the tongue, that word Bali. So the thing with Bali is that they are opening up their borders. They've opened up their borders for domestic travel a couple of weeks ago at the end of July. They're opening up their borders to international travels on September 11th. Now, it's still up in the air if that's going to be moved around a little bit. They might push it down a couple of weeks. And we're still waiting for details on the restrictions and requirements. Probably, I'd say, negative COVID tests at a minimum here. But do expect that September 11th date to move. That said, over the next couple of months, at minimum, we expect Bali to open up to everybody. There's a place here, the Maya Sanur Resort and Spa, 5-star property. You're right on the water in one of the more desirable destinations there in Bali, in Indonesia there. A 7-night stay for $6.99. You get breakfast and afternoon tea daily, and that's good for travel through December of 2022. So again, what you're doing is you're locking these rates in now, and you're really sort of waiting around. You change your mind last minute, again, refundable with no strings attached. But again, you're locking up these rates that probably will not come back.
No.
Certainly next year when demand starts to ramp all the back up.
Absolutely, lock it in now. And I know you talked about a Europe update quickly, but you've got a couple to keep an eye on.
So we're still waiting. We have the ban in effect for people coming here from Europe and for what's called the Schengen region out there. Croatia, that's a European country that is welcoming American travelers. You have to have a negative COVID test. You have to fill out certain forms. But Croatia is open. I mentioned the UK and Ireland. You can get there, but you've got to do a 14-day quarantine. Little cottage on the cliffs of Moher. I could hang out there for 14 days. And then there's some Eastern European countries like North Macedonia and Albania that are open to Americans as well with minimal requirements. If you must travel to Europe, there are a couple of options out there. What we do know is that starting next month, a lot of these international carriers out of Europe are starting to ramp flights out of the U.S. back up. So they're targeting people with dual citizenship now, or do maybe some humanitarian trips out there. But the anticipation is that we're getting to a point where some of these rules and regulations will start to ease up as Americans begin to knock on Europe's door all over again.
Very nice. Travel Zoo senior editor Gabe Saglier.
Absolutely. Thanks for doing all the hard work for us.
Great to see you guys.
Good to see you.
And be sure to check out our website for all the destinations we featured today.
That's right. And still to come, a final look at how our Tex Man is doing, learning some new tricks today.
That's next.
Bing. Yeah!
Welcome back. All throughout today's show, we've been checking in with Lauren Kelly and Stephanie Bennett over at Believe in Dog Training to see if our little man Tex could learn a few new tricks.
All right, let's see the latest, Lauren.
Okay, first of all, you have to run down the list of tricks that Tex already knows, right, Stephanie?
Yes,
he knows a lot of tricks.
He does.
We taught him we were in the process of teaching him 2 new tricks today. He caught on to the hustle very, very simply, and that was just basically treats through each legs, weaving in and out. And we also taught him the bang. We're not really sure if he wants to perform because you have to reward the pups every time, and they have to get treats, and he might have a full belly. But Stephanie, you think we should still try?
Yeah, we're gonna see. Come on, buddy.
Come on, baby. So we're gonna see if the bang. Can you tell everybody what the bang is?
Bang is play dead. So hopefully we want to just be able to say bang.
Okay.
He's a little prince. He needs to be picked up sometimes. Yeah, he's a prince.
Okay.
Okay. With this one. Good boy.
Oh, the pressure is on. I feel like he's gonna do it. Oh. I feel like a sportscaster right now.
Good boy.
Yay!
Good boy.
Yay, Tex!
Yes.
So we've been working on 2 new things. It's a lot of information for dogs to kind of handle in one short amount of time, which, like Stephanie said, an hour is a very quick amount of time. But the actual key to teaching, Stephanie, is the repeating, the practicing.
Yes.
What else?
And again, for him especially, he's got to keep it short, right? He's getting full a little bit. And this, as we talked about, come on. Yes. Good boy.
There's a bang for you.
So eventually, good boy, he's going to stay there and dead. He's dead. Good boy. Eventually, so now that we have him understanding, here's the behavior that we want, it's just that.
Right.
Eventually, I'll be able to wean my body language off and the treats, and I'll just be able to go bang. And he'll go, just like that.
How should everybody end their sessions with their puppies? If he's like that, it's a good ending.
You've got to make sure that you end on success, right? So if you find yourself get a big success, stop there.
Okay.
Don't be a greedy trainer. Sometimes I want to be greedy because if I get success, I want to keep going.
Right.
But if we keep going, then they're likely to get frustrated.
Okay.
So if you hit a big success, if you had a goal for yourself and you hit a big success, yippee, throw a party,
right,
have some fun, and then you can come back to it later.
Okay.
But you've got to make sure this is this is an hour for him. It's a long time.
Yeah.
So you've got to make sure do small increments and then just let them end on success and happiness. If it stops being fun, forget it.
They're out, right? Stephanie Bennett, Believe in Dog Training. Thank you so much. You're always a joy. And Tex was such a great sport today. He may be the trick master, but you are the trick teaching master.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you so much. BelieveInDogTraining.com, where you can find all the info. All right, guys, Derek and Courtney, I'm going to go practice my bang as
So
well.
cute.
Back to y'all.
So cute. I love it. One of the things, too, when we first got Oscar, as Stephanie said, play hide and seek with your dog. And so now they do it all the time. It's super cute. She has such great ideas. always a success.
That is adorable.
Yeah.
Lauren, thank you so much. And it's a miracle. He came back to life.
I know. Who knew?
Well,
each time.
Every single time. We'll be right back. Coming up tomorrow on Houston Life, the Jones Family Singers, a truly moving and inspiring story of a local family of gospel singers that never gave up faith even after 4 of their family members contracted COVID-19. We'll hear how they're continuing to spread hope to others through their talents and song.
Also tomorrow, we're going to meet the Sugarland mom delivering hope to at-risk children, one pair of shoes at a time. She created a nonprofit out of her garage that serves as a great purpose, especially during these first weeks of back to school. It's a really great story, and every kid feels really special with a brand new pair of shoes and a backpack when we're in those times, but it's a really great story.
And an important reminder that so many people here in our Houston area need some help covering just the basics. All right, well, that wraps up Houston Life for the day. Thanks so much for joining us.